Welcome back to the most ridiculous marketing podcast with your host, James Hacking. That is me, founder of Socially Powerful, global social marketing agency. I think that's the first time I've actually done that intro for the whole time. With my host, Chris Boomtown Harvey. And we've got a new man in the hot seat. Will you care to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name's Jermaine, I'm 25 and I'm single.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
I thought I did.
So, how you doing, Jermaine? It's your first time on the pod?
A bit nervous, don't know where to look half the time, but you know, I'll
look at me if you want.
get lost in those eyes.
Yeah, you
I'll
can.
give it a go, but yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the pod. I'm pleased. You've got a big seat that you're sat in there. Luke's been in a regular for the last, I don't know how long. Well, last few shows, and then a few shows before lockdown last year. So
I'm not replacing him. This is just a trial run, everyone. Right?
Yeah, I don't know where Luke is today. He said he couldn't make it. So unfortunately, Jermaine is now in number one position, pole position for the seat. So guys, this week it has been a slow news week that we said.
It has.
Or really what it has been is we haven't done our research.
Possibly a bit of both, but I'm going to go with slow news week.
Yeah, slow news week. But anyway, into the news we go. You've not heard these jingles from
I haven't.
He's gonna love it. Anyway, so first topic.
Use every single one.
I only know which ones a few of them are. But anyway, first thing on the news this week. We know we don't want to talk about this. Actually, no. Before we go into this topic, right? We got something bigger we need to talk about, guys.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, I'm thinking that we need to rename this podcast because it's known as the most ridiculous marketing podcast, but we tend not to talk about marketing at all. And as we expand and we get guests on, fingers crossed in a few weeks, you know, we're not really talking about marketing. We're more just interested in stuff that's happening podcast.
Try and branch out,
that's fair. That's fair. I think we do touch on some marketing stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's more just the stuff that we're keen on, and it's probably more about the world of influencers rather than like what a brand's up to this week.
Sort of link though.
Yeah, but I think we can get a better name. It's more generic, you know. It's more hard hitting. That's like BBC News.
I mean, don't get me wrong, love the most ridiculous marketing podcast name, but it is a bit of a mouthful. Like, you've got to do that intro every week.
I do quite enjoy it. I'd like to have like another mouthful. But yeah, I think we need to change the name. So we need to brainstorm of what we're going to come up with.
The marketing fellas.
Not bad.
All right, that's
what was that thing on YouTube? The Filthy Fellas, wasn't it like a football?
Yeah, Filthy Fellas is actually a good
football thing
as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen. I think a few YouTubers have got a podcast literally just called The Fellas.
Yeah, so maybe we're jumping on people's toes there.
Yeah,
because we're going to the top.
We want to go past them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, what about we get people who watch and listen to our videos?
So us three.
Us three. Yeah, we'll brainstorm it in the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe
like in our own comments as well.
Gosh. But yeah, we'll come up with something. Maybe we'll put it out to like a poll.
A poll would be pretty good.
Yeah, put it to the people. Give them, let them vote. We'll do our brainstorm. Give them a few different options.
Yeah,
and give some choices.
Put it on the Instagram as well.
Yeah, I've got to say as well, I've got to give a massive shout out to our number one fan of the podcast, Thomas Ashall, who's my best man at my upcoming wedding. I'm sure you're listening, Tom. I promised I'll give you a shout out, so there you go. I'll give you a little one of these as well. So Tom, if you've got any ideas of what you want the podcast to be called, just let me know. We'll get you on the phone. We'll call you in whenever you want to be on it. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the serious stuff about the things that has been happening in the news. Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. Final thoughts, guys. Let's draw a line under this thing. It has got. We spoke about it. We just need to talk about it a little bit more because it happened this week. Floyd came out with his OnlyFans hat on. He started OnlyFans. Logan came out with a Pokemon around his neck, and it was it was a pretty boring fight. Floyd did commit a legalized robbery.
That's what he said, isn't it?
Yeah. He said he got like 30 mil for that, like just for like the sponsorship,
which is pretty mad.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's like almost how much Logan got. Logan got about 40 mil.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, it was split something like, even from like the pay-per-views. I think Floyd got like 50%. and Logan was getting like 10% in terms of the pay-per-view.
Actual genius.
So, like all things considered, I think it's kind of worked out pretty well for both of them.
Yeah, someone said they're both winners as well, which is true.
I'd probably say they're both winners.
Like, you can't knock it. They've made a shitload of money.
Yeah, nonsense. Did get battered a little bit though.
Yeah, but Floyd could have done what he wanted with him. He was like just pissing around, wasn't he? Like when he wanted to hit him, he would hit him.
I don't know if you guys saw it as well. I think it looked like he knocked him out. And then
held him up,
didn't he? Just like, come on, man.
I mean, like Floyd came out and said, "Look, I didn't train. You know, I did a few bits and pieces." But I mean, even he came out and said Logan was better than he thought he was. Yeah. So to give him a bit of credit, and Logan just went, "This is honestly the best moment of my life." And I mean, what? If I got to, like, as a big cricket fan, say if I got to play with Kevin Peterson or something, I'd be like, this is amazing.
Yeah, you'd
like,
be moist.
It's mad.
Moist, yeah.
Absolutely. So
it's mad to see YouTubers do that though now. They just branch into boxing.
Yeah, well, I think we need to probably just stop talking about boxing. maybe that is the name of the podcast. It's the boxing podcast featuring influencers.
We've stopped talking about boxing.
Yeah. But anyway, it was shit fight. Didn't pay for it. Watched it on YouTube afterwards.
No, I didn't even watch highlights, to be honest.
Really?
No.
Yeah, you didn't miss much, Chris. It was pretty boring.
It was boring.
But anyway, on the topic of sport, and this is quite interesting again, I saw this on actually BBC News this morning that Sky Brown could become Great Britain's youngest ever summer Olympian after finishing third in the Olympic qualifications for skateboarding. But the amazing thing is, she's 12 years old. She's 12.
What little legend.
12 years old. She finished third, which means, she could potentially win a medal.
That's actually mad.
And the other amazing thing is, there's another girl, I think her name is Bombette Martin. She's also only 14. She also qualified. So Team GB have got like a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old in the skateboarding.
Skateboarding as well.
Yeah,
That's
it's quite a niche sport, but I'm definitely watching it.
Like, mate, it's insane.
They've got quite a few like new ones as well, like dancing. Dancing's one as well.
Dancing on ice. Anyway, let's stay on this topic. But guys, you need to watch some of the videos of this girl. Like, there's just completely no fear at all. She's 12 years old and she's like flinging herself off
freestyle
ramps.
Skateboarding.
It's park skateboarding, so it's like going over ramps, grinds, and all that sort of stuff.
Bloody hell, 12 years old.
It's insane. Like, this is another question to ask you guys. What were you doing when you were 12 years old?
I was starting school. What's it, year 8? Year 8, getting stuffed in lockers.
And then there she is, going to the Olympics, going to win a medal.
Yeah.
We were just like snotty little boys.
Panicking about my biology homework or something. And, what are you up to
lessons. What
are you up to this summer? Oh, not much. Just going to Japan for the Olympics. No big deal.
What are you doing? Eating sweets?
Climbing trees.
Yeah, so anyway, like, we've got to keep an eye on that. That'll be insane if she wins a medal. And yeah, I think she's got like something like 3.8 mil subscribers on YouTube as well. She's pretty insane.
Jeez.
But yeah, that is absolutely next level. I guess it's one of those sports, that you can throw yourself in as a kid.
Yeah, if you're talented, you can literally make it on
you can't at 12 you can't compete in the 100 meters, but in that you can dedicate.
It's like that for gymnastics though, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, they're all quite young for that. Yeah, but insane.
The Olympics is really good for stuff like that though, where it's got those sort of niche sports. Like when it always comes around, like I love watching like weird stuff like the table tennis.
Table tennis is
brilliant. It's unreal.
Yeah, they stand like 15 feet away from the table, and it's like watching. I don't know.
There was a rally the other day as well. They're literally just like doing it from about 20 meters. Right, it's crazy.
and they're like running back. It's insane.
Have you seen on YouTube like there's guys that do like the trick shots and they'll do like one behind their backs like in the middle of games.
Can't even imagine doing that.
The best one I love is the Winter Olympics when it's got like a snowboard cross. Have you seen that? Yeah. When they race in the top of the mat, it's basically like Formula One for snowboarding.
It's so mad. Like, you look at it, you're just thinking that's just dangerous, isn't it? Like,
I love it. It's so good. Like the Winter Olympics, I quite like. I like that more than the Summer Olympics. I think because like UK, it's not really a winter sport place, is it? Like, there's no, you can't really go skiing or snowboarding unless you go to Scotland, and people only really go to like Europe to do it, and it's not like a thing that's you do all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in 2012, the 2012 Olympics were pretty good here.
Yeah, that was obviously amazing. But I'm talking of like a purely aesthetic factor. I'd much prefer to see like 3, 4 or 5 fellas going down a mountain as fast as they can on a snowboard.
Just shit myself, man.
Someone else, yeah.
Well, after watching like
And the ice hockey as well. That's ledge.
I mean,
Yeah, they just
want to
Brilliant,
go to scrap today.
I didn't realise as well you can like stop an ice hockey and like have like a full on fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was watching the other day. I was thinking.
Did you watch it the other day? I watched, it was on TV the other day, wasn't it?
I was literally like, these guys can actually stop, like have a fight for like 30
the refs let
seconds
it.
and then just go back playing.
I love it when the referees are just there going, okay, yeah, decent left hook.
they just turned from like being an ice hockey like umpire or ref to suddenly being a boxing,
Giving the count where he's been hit on the
Imagine that, like football, like literally Premier League game, like just having a fight in the corner.
Yeah, but basically they wouldn't know how to do it. They're throwing handbags and all sorts.
Doesn't happen there, does it?
No.
But and the amazing thing about ice hockey is that they wear helmets, right? But it's just the top. They don't wear anything on the face. So they've got their head protected, but face, they're still getting jabbed and uppercutted, and they could get a puck to the face. Unreal. Anyway, enough about that. Hopefully Sky Brown wins a medal in the upcoming Olympics. We'll definitely be watching that. Final quick news topic of the week, which has turned out into quite a long news section. We were talking about the lottery this week for some reason, which we can't mention. And this was on the news this morning that a mother has won at 10k a month on a lottery ticket, which her daughter put in her birthday card for her, which is 10k a month for the next year.
God almighty.
From a little lucky dip lottery ticket.
So who's entitled? Should it not be to the daughter?
Yeah, but I imagine, she's bought it for the mum. The mum's going to take the money.
Yeah, you can't be like, nope, that's mine. Take
Yeah,
that
sorry, mum.
The funniest thing would be
Your
if she
birthday
signed
card.
the ticket first. If she signed the ticket first, gave it to her mum just like literally unravelled it, and she was like, I won, but it's in her name. So
I'm sure the
takes
mum
it.
will give us something.
Yeah.
Have you ever won the lottery? Have you ever won anything in the lottery?
No, I mean more than a quiz. No.
We're
Really?
playing it every week with my mate Syndicate for about
Won anything?
maybe like 4 years. Biggest has been about £12.
Really?
Oh,
Mate,
Same numbers every time as well.
Really? I think last year, I won about 650 quid on the Euro Millions once, and then the next week I won £823.
On the same ticket.
I thought I was
Same
like
numbers?
graduate. I think it was different numbers. I just got a little bit addicted, and I was putting like 20 quid like lucky dips in every week. But yeah, I won I think about 1,500 quid. And I stopped for some reason. Probably should have kept going if I was on that.
on that streak.
Yeah. Carried on, but the whole gambling thing as well for that as well. Euros it's going to be massive for it, I think as well.
You're always gambling.
I'm not a gambling man. I mean, I've had my fair share of losses and wins.
Are you going to put some money on the Euros?
I think so. There's quite a good couple of decent bets I've got on at the moment. Yeah,
I've got a bet. Who? All right, hang on. This could be an interesting bet.
Who have you guys got for Euros?
I want to ask you. Who do you think is going to win the Euros?
Who do I think is going to win the Euros? Most likely France, but if I was a betting man, I do like Portugal's chances.
Okay, right. So
I said France last week on the pod, so I am sticking with France.
Okay, so you said Portugal.
I want Portugal because I think they got a good team.
You said France.
Yeah.
I'll say Germany are going to win, right?
Behave, man.
Right.
So here's a bet. In the news this week, we should have talked about this, but Phil Foden's blonde hair has been all over the news.
Oh,
So,
I don't know what you think of it.
So, if, let's say, for example, Germany win, you two have to get your hair dyed blonde.
Okay, what? So
camera
France
as well.
win.
You two, us two have to.
I'm right in the money.
But
Okay.
I have to make one condition that it has to be after August 15th because I'm getting married. so I can't have blonde hair for my wedding.
You'd be looking like Slim Shady for your
Yeah,
wedding.
I can't do that. But I will do it. Were you guys down for the bet?
Yeah, right.
I think I'm down for it to be. Oh gosh,
You can't not be, mate. It's 2 against 1 here.
what if England win? Then we all.
No,
have to,
it's just the team. So I think
Just these teams.
If any other team.
If England win, then
doesn't
we all
it-
get our hair dyed.
No, we don't. we don't do that.
You've got a bit of a Phil Foden cut about you, or maybe he's got a bit of the James.
Yeah,
Hackett
maybe.
cut about
Yeah.
you.
Maybe it'll be more Phil Foden later on when I've actually
Gosh,
had
I'm
it
in the
cut.
mud
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Portugal
Yeah.
don't stand a chance actually.
You picked them,
No,
no.
no. Absolute nightmare.
I don't think Germany will win, but I just picked them because they're always
Germans
there.
are efficient though.
They're almost
very
always there,
efficient.
and they've got some very good players. Anyway, we probably should talk about some real topics now that probably won't make the podcast when we change it because we'll probably end up talking about boxing, football all the time. But anyway, let's go into the real ones. Let's just press a button. What's this one?
I don't think you have.
Nah, wrong one. We'll go. Anyway, we need to get more jingles. I said last week we need more jingles for specific periods in the podcast. I'm sure we're all Nando's lovers in this room.
Yeah, but Nando's, a cheeky one especially.
What?
A cheeky one
I
especially.
thought you said the chicken one. Anyway, so Nando's has launched a 50% off deal for 65-year-olds in June. OAPs can enjoy the discount when dining with their younger relatives. This was brought into play in a bid to celebrate the easing of lockdown restrictions and the reuniting of families with their older relatives. So, unfortunately, this was over last week. So it was actually only between the 7th and 9th of June that this offer was on. But 50% off for over 65s with young relatives. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a great deal. Like,
have you got a granddad, grandparent, mum, dad that you could take?
Yeah, I could have taken my dad actually.
Yeah, do you like Nando's?
He's an old man. I bloody love it. Yeah, I think you had to show your ID actually.
Yeah?
A couple of my friends said you had to show your ID first.
So you have friends that did it?
Yeah,
nice.
One or two friends did it. That you have to show your ID for obviously the person you're taking as well.
Yeah.
First of all, otherwise you're not allowed.
I imagine that getting ID'd in Nando's.
Excuse me, sir.
Are you over 60?
If you going up for a refill, ID.
I'm just
imagining like old 65-year-old playboys going in there with 30-year-old, 20-year-old birds like Wayne Lineker. He's turned Nando's into Ocean Beach.
Coming in for the Flamin' Special.
Yeah, I mean, like my parents don't live in London, so I would have had to commute all the way back to Leicester to take them out for Nando's, and they probably wouldn't have actually enjoyed it. I'll be honest.
No chance.
Yeah, my mum is not a fan of Nando's.
She's not a fan.
No, she's not a fan.
Really?
No,
That's intriguing.
Or vegetarian.
No. I think she's more just like it's just chicken, isn't it? We could probably just make this at home. And I was like,
well,
yeah,
you say
fair.
that.
Cheeky Nando's. Like,
It's like Chris. You could say that about anything though. You could go, okay, it's just a curry. we can make this curry at home. You could. It's just an Italian. Oh, we can make that spaghetti bolognese at home.
You could easily say that, but I mean, that's not to say I don't.
I mean, you probably love it, don't you?
I
Are you? Let me guess. I reckon you're at medium.
Yeah.
oh come on.
You're going to be like proper hot, right?
No, I like it hot. I don't like extra hot. It's just not nice. Like not enjoyable.
No, but I love.
Nice.
I'm at medium, and then I just cover it more in more medium sauce, so it does. It raises it a little bit.
I think all the sauces just taste the same.
They
anyway.
do.
Oh, really?
So even though I like the mango and lime, which I probably don't do anymore, it still probably
You're
is.
a mango and lime guy.
Yeah, mate, I love the fruit,
Really?
the fruitiness. That's what I'm a fruity guy, mate. You know?
What's your order?
I've been into a Fino Pitta recently.
Yeah, they're decent. Actually.
Fino Pitta is actually up there.
Yeah, I do like a butterfly burger as well.
Butterfly burger is very nice actually.
Or I could also go for four thighs and macho peas, chips as well.
I do like the wing roulette as well, actually.
Wing roulette's dangerous.
that.
It's dangerous as well. Especially if you're having medium, you're going to be sweating if you get.
You should. This is actually something we did on the podcast a while ago. Is when we tried the hottest sauces in the world.
Oh god.
Well, yeah, we were talking about it because we did like Hot Ones. The YouTube show, they made a game show out of it as well, like TV special, and we got the guys to buy some of the sauces they did and tried to do an episode whilst doing
God.
the Hot Ones challenge.
It was with Dan Boontown and Hayden that did it. Wow, I've never seen people sweat so much and be so like.
We had
I think Zahid, you tried them, right? You tried the hot sauces. What do you think? he said no. He didn't like them. I think Z tried them as well. Z was like, I'll try them. He put the hottest sauce, he put a lot of it as well on one of these wings. And he's like, that's nothing. And, oh my god! And then he was like, he took his t-shirt off. He was there naked,
but running around.
Yeah, literally was.
Anyone have any milk on standby? Because apparently, if we drink water,
we had milk, we had ice cream. So what we had actually was the guys could go and get what they thought would be the best condiments to stop them.
Oh
no!
To stop them, having the heat in the mouth. I think I said they could have 3 things. But like they bought like really tiny things. So I remember Dan bought this pot of yogurt, which is like a little pot of yogurt, which is like a fruit corner,
like a little pity for Luke.
Yeah. And then they both had milk, but then I think Hayden bought like a bigger milk, and Dan was trying to rob Hayden's milk.
Oh my God.
It was pretty funny.
I think when my brother stag do a couple of years ago, Yeah, decent in Germany as well. If anyone's interested.
Whereabouts? Berlin?
It was actually in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during the Euros.
I bet you didn't see the proper Berlin though.
No,
If it's that, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the
Not in the
darkest
Euros. It was
depths of
during
Berlin.
the World Cup. Actually, watched
Yeah.
the final there, which was actually pretty.
You went to the
decent.
final?
No, just watch the final in a stadium. But yeah, someone had the hottest chili as well. There was another stag do. He had the hottest chili in a bag, ate it, and I've never seen a guy like sweat so quickly as well.
The Reaper, the Carolina
I think
Reaper.
is it the Ghost chili? Ghost chili or
the Carolina
either one
Reaper
of them.
or
He
something,
had literally had a list of stuff to do for a stag do. So James, if you've had your stag do, then it's an idea for.
Stags happening next year, mate. Not this year. No point doing this shit. Can't be done. Anyway, fair play, Nando's. I think let's just move on from that because none of us did it. Anyway, let's do a little Lloyd's Corner because I feel like we need some more chat about stuff that isn't marketing.
If you could wipe any brand or product off the face of the earth, what'll it be? For me, Crocs can get in the bin.
Oh, that leads us nicely into our next topic. Well done, Lloyd. Also, his can we just have a look at his
If you
filter?
could wipe any brand or product off the face of the earth, what'll it be?
Pretty
For
good.
me, Crocs can get in the bin.
Who's the superhero that lights up?
What the Flame, the Fantastic Four. chap.
Flame on.
I'm trying to think. This
Human
actually,
Torch. That's the name.
It's actually a very tough question. Which brand would I wipe off the face of the earth? Yeah, that's
There'll be something you see and you just fills you with rage.
I know. I'm trying to think of one.
I potentially got one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know whether I want to say it though.
I mean, Crocs can get in the bin.
It's not
Can you stop playing with your phone, please? Because that picks up on the microphone, Jermaine. I'm sure you
sorry, sir.
don't understand these podcast etiquette.
Sorry, it's my first time.
Anyway, Chris, any ideas?
I mean, all I can think of is Crocs at the minute, especially after like seeing the piece in the news that we'll go and talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
And all I can think was, mate, they can do one. Like, I just don't understand.
Let's just make sure that Crocs don't get in touch with us again.
I'm trying to have a think of there are some really expensive brands that just.
I've got an expensive brand that I'm coming out with.
What's yours?
It's just like
I see some of them all the time. Just like actually,
like
not the one.
Versace, mate.
That's
like
you know
Versace
what?
with those shirts that all those people that pretend they've got loads of money wear, and the people that have got loads of money wear, and they look like mongs. Like Tyson Fury, granted, he is the heavyweight king, but when he was like out in US for the Canelo fight, Miami, whatever, he was wearing these every single day. It was another one of these shit Versace shirts, and the only reason he's wearing it is because it cost like $2,000 to buy one. And it's just like they are shit.
I don't rate those brands, to be honest.
I don't rate them either.
I see them and I think everyone's just drawn to them straight away. I'm just like, actually,
they all look. Do you know what they all look like? They all look like they're fake. They're expensive, but they look like they're fake.
So
there's just something about it. I don't know why.
I read some. I think it's Gucci that they.
I know what you're gonna say. I think
rather than keep hold of all of their stock after a season, they burn all of it. They burn all of it.
So you can't get it on discount.
Yeah, so you can't get it on discount websites and things like that to keep like the exclusivity of the brand, which is probably terrible, right?
Yeah.
Environmentally speaking,
wastage.
Yeah.
It's just terrible, but I think for them it's obviously what they need. They need as well because they don't want anyone having
maybe
well.
don't make so much.
Yeah.
Not everyone could afford, like you said, like a $2,000 shirt or something like that.
And why would you want
Probably
to?
a bit more, to be honest.
Like, why would you want to? I don't.
Just mad.
Same thing with shoes. I don't know how much you guys have spent on shoes before. Like, what's the most expensive pair of trainers you guys have ever bought?
I don't know. Probably like 250 quid.
Okay, I spent probably half that, 125
I reckon,
quid
like
for shoes.
there are shoes out there, literally McQueen's as well. Like
Those are minging as well. They're like space shoes.
I look at them just like, how is anyone paying this much money for them as well? Like I don't know how much the Balenciaga and Crocs one's going to be, but
I think it's like $1,000. What I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll those sort of things. The only expensive thing I do buy is watches, and because I like watches, but the clothes and stuff, nah, not for me. Just look like a retard. You can get similar looking things from ASOS for £10.
You're right.
The only place you want to wear those shirts is when you're in Ibiza,
and then
licking a window.
You've probably spilt enough stuff on it by the it's going in the bin after your holiday anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll bleep out all those brands we offended, so they can always get in touch with Socially Powerful. The other one I was going to say was Lonsdale. I just hate Lonsdale. You know, they're
a bit of a
Are
rubbish.
they even still going?
Yeah,
still
it's
going,
a Sports Direct thing, isn't it?
They're still pretty big in boxing, actually.
Yeah, it's more those like £15-20 trainers that I just like. I just despise the look of them. But anyway,
the Lonsdale specials.
We move on. Anyway, thanks for that, Lloyd. We will move on to talking about more expensive brands again, because the shoes was very much part of the conversation. So, who wants to talk about this? I'm not really excited about this.
Yeah, you seem like you actually hate this topic.
I don't mind it. My disdain for
Chris, you want to talk about it?
My disdain for Crocs and Balenciagas probably go really hand in hand with this. So I don't know if you've seen guys like saw it on like Hype Beast and sort of come out this morning that they've done a collab.
Dubbed Balenciaga and Crocs 2.0. So they have collab before in 2017.
Oh, go away. Really?
Yeah, they did, what was it called? They did some sort of like, hang on, they're called platform Crocs. Have a look at them. They're pretty funny. They look exactly what you'd think they look like.
I think that's what makes them worse, is that it's exactly what you imagine they look like, right? Where it's just...
Who is their audience?
I mean...
We've just spoken about them, like idiots that think it's cool to wear this stuff.
I'm just thinking, like, sure, it would be rich, sort of like rich dads, but... Like,
with it, hang on. This collab has a heel, so like I don't know if rich dads will be. So the new Balenciaga and Crocs collab, they have two new collaborations, which is knee-high Crocs rain boots, which obviously sound disgusting, and then there's a platform heeled Croc. So you can imagine that these potentially go with everything or nothing at all. So it's up to you to decide. But if I saw somebody wearing like one of these heeled Crocs, like they're getting 2-footed. Come on.
I just honestly, I'm picturing it. Just looks awful.
Speaking of actually weird collabs, did you guys see that Yeezy and Gap did their first? Released their first item.
Even Yeezy's are getting to be one of those brands.
I think they're probably another brand that I would say get in the bin. But yeah, it was this weird blue sort of puffer jacket thing, and apparently it sold out in hours. It looks like a spacesuit. It's so weird.
People just queue up. Like at the weekend, I think I walked past the Palace shop in Soho. Like people queuing outside. I'm just like, what are you going to buy? Like, what are you queuing to buy? You queuing to buy some of these Crocs stilettos, or are you going to the Supreme shop to buy the Supreme lifeboat? Like what? Why do you want to buy this stuff?
It's the resale. I think they do it for the resale, don't they?
Yeah, it is, but it's like.
What do you think about these brands that do that though, with like the whole exclusivity thing? Like Supreme's, I think
it works. It obviously works. Like you create hype, like massive hype. When you've got a drop that is only happening on one day, and there's only 50 amount of these T-shirts that are going to be there, people are going to want to have it. And that means you can charge whatever you like.
And they do as well.
You do, yeah.
But I mean, the hardest part of that has got to be just drumming up the interest in the first place, hasn't it? Like, and certainly like maintaining that over time. Like,
when you become known for being that brand that is the exclusive drop brand, you know, like Supreme's been a brand for a very long time. You know,
they do it all the time.
Yeah, it's what they're known for.
They're geniuses with it, though, I think.
Yeah. Have you got any Supreme? I imagine you might have queued outside.
You know what? I wanted to at uni, but then I realised it's gonna have to be very early. So like, you finish your night out and just go.
Where'd you go to uni?
Brighton University.
Okay. Have they got a Supreme shop down there?
No Supreme shop, but there was I think there's one of those high-end shops that would do it.
Okay,
they
drop it.
Thinking like, it's not worth it in the slightest, to be honest. Like you be there and what you queued up for. Look around. These people are actually camping outside the shop.
Yeah, you always see there's other things as well, like super, super rich. There's a guy on Instagram called The Boy You Hate. Have you ever seen him?
No.
I think so.
He's called Maximilian White, I think he is. He's become super, super wealthy because he's a cannabis farmer. I think he's from Nottingham or something like that. But he basically gets Louis Vuitton, like Gucci, everything. He gets it personally made, and he has it. He always says like one of one. So he had this watch made from Jacobs Watches, which is like one of the most exclusive, probably the most exclusive watch brand. I think it was like, unbelievable amount of money this watch cost to make, and it was a one of one, and it's insane.
He's a cannabis farmer as well.
Yeah,
God Almighty.
Yeah, so he's made a lot of money out of that. But
I mean, that's mental, that sort of stuff. Where I think it goes past it being like pretentious, and then there's kind of like a line, isn't it, being
Next
like pretentious
level.
and next
You
level
just
cool.
do what you want with that money.
Yeah,
as well.
you just kind of do what you want.
yeah.
But
Anyway, Balenciaga Crocs, again, it's a collaboration. People are debating whether it's going to be a real thing. But previously, when the collab was released in 2017, the stuff sold out before it was even released. So
I can imagine that. I mean, we were speaking a whole load of people that are definitely going to be buying one of these, I reckon.
I can't wait to see you walking around in these Crocs in the office, Chris. In your jeans in October. He's going to be wearing these.
Straight to
Guys, I got them.
Hello. I don't know. I reckon that'd be something Majid might wear, to be fair. But anyway.
Pull it off, to be honest.
Yeah, he has got a weird top knot at the moment. He doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can just slag him off whatever I want.
I mean, we thought it was a lockdown podcast, lockdown top knot, and then it made an appearance again.
Like, I think it was like, so before we were talking about brands that we could easily throw in the bin, those haircuts that you can easily throw in the bin, top knot is the top of the list, man. Like, that was not cool even 5 years ago when people were doing that. Now
it's very popular now, though.
It's only popular because like people got used to lockdown.
Look at who's wearing it though. Come on, look at who's wearing the top knot.
People love it.
Look at who's wearing.
I mean, do they know the barbers are open?
I was just making sure Zahid wasn't wearing a top knot. Yeah, like come on, it's just disgusting.
Barbers are open now, guys. You can go get a haircut.
I would love to just go behind Majid's hair and just chop it off.
Maybe do a poll. See if people are into top knots still.
They're not though. No one's ever been to top knots. Have any of your mates ever had a top knot?
None of my mates.
Exactly.
Actually, if they did.
Exactly. None of any of our friends have ever had a top knot. That shows you.
Hey, what to get? It's just a. I think it's just a ponytail bit. It's just like you just look at it, just like
minging.
Not cool.
You are a minging guy if you got a top knot. I'm sorry, but you are. Anyway, I don't know. Let's keep going.
We should do that whilst Majid's on a call. Just sneak up behind him.
I've got a name for the podcast.
Go on.
The Slagcast. So you can just slag off anything and anybody you want.
That's what we've been doing.
We're just going to let all of our grievances out.
I think that's probably what this podcast is. It's a Slagcast.
Yeah.
Like, we never say we like anything. The only thing I've liked today was Sky Brown, the 12-year-old girl who's going to win a medal for the GB Olympic skateboarding team. Everything else,
I mean, we did like Nando's.
Nando's a cheeky one as well. Actually,
yeah. You've said cheeky so many times.
You'd have like a cheeky.
I need to make sure it's there.
Have you got some sponsorship by yourself? he's got a brand deal on his first podcast with us.
Just from the word cheeky.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about our final topic. Make it super, super quick because we've gone. How long have we gone into? Like 35 minutes. Gone over time. 33 minutes. Jermaine, this is your time to shine, my friend. You want to talk about Oreos?
So on the 27th of June, the US government are going to release some files. They're declassifying some files, and it's on advanced aerial threats. And it's how it sounds, UFOs.
Ooh.
UFOs. And,
so they're actually going to release
They're releasing
info.
the files, yeah, on towards the end of the month. And Oreo have actually decided to take advantage, and they're trying to...
Come on.
What they're trying to do.
Get it out.
We get there. We're going to get there.
They're going to commemorate the occasion with a gift for extraterrestrials.
What's the gift?
It's literally just Oreos.
Oh.
That is it.
That's it?
That is it. And they're the first brand to actually welcome extraterrestrials. So
Do you believe in aliens?
I do believe there's life out there. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, I think there's got to be something going on out there. You know, we've watched enough TV, watched enough movies to know there's got to be something out there.
It's so big as well, isn't it? Like
there's a lot of space race going on as well, isn't there, at the moment?
What?
The space race is what I.
What are you, team Elon or
Elon Musk?
Team
Yeah.
Bezos?
I'm Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's crazy enough to do it.
I've got him Musk because I've got so many shares in Tesla. It's going down the pan at the moment. So come on, Elon, you win that bloody space race for me.
From the beginning.
No, not the beginning. No, I wish I did it from the beginning because you'd be. I think there's a guy. There's a guy.
I think it's 2017, wasn't it? Was the time when people.
I'm not sure, but there's a guy I follow on Twitter. He got in at the very beginning, and I think he bought. I think it was like 20 grand, 20 grand's worth of Tesla shares.
Nonsense.
I think it's now worth like 35 mil.
That's really.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Insane. But yeah, in terms of space, there has to be stuff out there, because when you watch those videos of like our planets and whatever, I can't be educated. I can't talk about it in an educated way. But when you look at all the planets that are around our planet, and then you look all the stars that are outside that and the galaxy, there has to be stuff out there.
Yeah,
there's no way that we're not the only most ridiculous marketing podcast in the whole world.
But it's mad because I think people are very worried about the information that's going to come out as well. Because I mean, there's a lot of people who are scared as well. But we shall see. We shall see. What
are you scared of it?
I mean, what are we scared of? That the aliens don't like Oreos.
You're going to offend. They like rich tea biscuits
instead.
Actually,
a very intelligent marketing scheme from them, really, as well.
Yeah. I think I could get lost in the world of space for a long time if I let myself think about it.
You can do. I think it's
because it's just baffling that we're definitely not the only people out there.
No, I mean, the galaxy is just so big. Like you said, it's daunting.
Yeah. Imagine what happens is when you die, you actually go somewhere else to like another world.
It's another planet.
Imagine like you get transported to another place. It could happen. You never know.
So you guys think Elon will get there first?
I don't care if he does, but I hope he does. Like,
I think he's just crazy. I think he's just crazy enough.
There's a lot of people who are actually against him commercializing the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's like.
I'm just against him using Twitter, to be honest. Like anything he says, just affects anything.
Only because your shares just
but mate, like,
plummeted.
He's ruining people's lives. Like, it's people that not myself, but people who invested tons and tons of money into Bitcoin, Dogecoin, any cryptocurrency based on his advice, and then he tweeted something a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so there's not.
That was saying, "Be safe with your money." Like after 6 months, so people were like, buy, and putting like the Dogecoin like little logo in his bio, and it, mate, the guy's just like a lunatic.
Because
like,
I think at one point he said that you could use his crypto.
He said he bought loads of Bitcoin. He said you can now purchase Teslas with Bitcoin. So the price went through the roof, and then suddenly he says something about like, I think he dumped a load of his Bitcoin, and he said that Bitcoin's not safe, cryptocurrency isn't safe. It's just he bought it low and then he sold it high.
Yeah.
There's like, for normal people like all of us here, we're just guessing. Whereas people like that have got control over anything they say and do. It can be the stock market, it can be crypto.
If you're investing your life savings, that's also.
People are stupid. Like
it's like the guys last year, GameStop and things like those guys.
I got a bit of money on GameStop. I'll be honest. That was quite good. That was quite a good one. That's quite a good one for me.
That was actually very crazy as well. Well, that started from Reddit, didn't it?
Yeah, it's still going up and down. So like whenever you see it just shoot up, it's obviously another like Reddit thing that's gone through. And there was the other stock, which is like AMC stock, that's going through the
news
as
well. That's when I thought, bloody hell, these guys have actually bits.
But that's the thing. So like there's all these rich people that have controlled everything for years, and then there's people on Reddit that have suddenly worked out how to play the system a little bit.
The Robin Hoods.
You got to be.
See, I don't like that sort of stuff though, because I feel like that's sort of gambling when you do like Robin Hood trading 2 on 2, and because that is definitely gambling. Like for like you said, a lot of people aren't maybe educated in it and just thought I'm just going to play around with some money.
I think, as well.
And that's kind of like saying I don't gamble like with football and things like that, because I just think like we've watched enough of it where like Alisson, the goalkeeper of Liverpool, scores like a goal in the 93rd minute, and you're like, great.
Sports gambling, I feel, is a different kettle of fish to the stock market, because not to play the stock market dumb, but to make it really, really simple, is when you see the charts going low and you see that it's the lowest it's been for 6 months, and 6 months ago it was fucking big. And let's say it's Amazon, Amazon are going to come back.
Yeah. Like
more often than not, you can buy some of that stock and it will come back in 6 months' time. Whereas with sports betting, there's so many different outcomes that can happen.
It's form as well. Like literally, Liverpool lost start of the year. They lost about like six or 7 games in a row, and I think someone.
And there's people betting on the amount of corners, yellow cards, like who's going to score the first.
Yeah, there's so many different variables and things like that.
That's just ridiculous. Like that, like people who are betting on that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, but you're tapped in the head.
What's the most you've ever won in a bet though?
I remember at uni. So me and Thomas Ashall, shout out to Tom again. So
big up Tom.
I think we did like a mad accumulator on some European football. I think it was maybe like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and they all came in. And I think we put like £20 on it. I think we won like, I don't know, £400 or £500 each.
Oh,
And
brilliant.
at uni, when you got no money,
Yeah,
that was an absolute godsend. We went out that night, but it was pretty mad. Like winning that amount of money was pretty cool, but never won anything like
You see
crazy.
you see it all the time. I mean, especially when those big racing events coming in as well.
Yeah, so I bet on horse racing.
Do you see the guy?
I bet 300 quid. Oh, I won 300 quid anyway. I think at Cheltenham earlier on in the year.
Do you see the guy on Twitter? He
I
calls himself, I think he's a professional gambler, but he bet on, I think it was like 3 outcomes of different major horse races. I think his bet slip, it was, if he'd won the whole thing, it was 500k he was going to get. And then it was Betfair or Betfred, whichever one it was trying to settle the bet for 197 grand, and then it went up and up and up and up. I think he ended up cashing out for like 380 grand.
So
or something.
I think he'd won 4 out of 5 races, and the 5th one was like 6 months later, and the horse he was betting on kept winning the races like leading up to it. And he was like, no, I'll hold on.
The amount of money those.
And I think he ended up settling for about 350 grand.
Yeah.
And the horse
Fair
ended up
play to
winning.
that.
I think the horse ended up winning.
Oh, that's why you get so many gamblers. You see that like one lucky person, just like, no, that can be me.
Well, what happened then? Some weird.
I heard that little pop.
Was that a door? Was that a door? No. What? Okay, I can't hear what he said. Yeah, talking about gambling, just to finish this off, because it's related to me, is that the Brentford owner is a gambler, professional gambler.
I think I did. I saw something like
professional
that. Professional
gambler, yeah, Chris. So originally he was a banker, and then I think he started a betting syndicate with a few people, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and he started employing mathematicians to analyze statistics of every single match, every single player, every single outcome, and they put tons and tons of money on it, and each time they're winning and winning and winning and winning. And that's still how he makes a lot of his money today. And he bought.
He's got another club, doesn't he? As well.
Yeah, he bought Michelin in Denmark for I think maybe 5 years ago. And originally, the reason he got involved with Brentford is because he grew up in Brentford. He was a Brentford fan like as a kid, and I think Brentford maybe in 2003 or something were about to go out of business. And he came in and saved them, gave them the money.
Changed the strategy as well and everything.
He didn't want to be an owner at that time. He just saved the club and he said, "Look, I'll give you an interest-free loan, pay it back when you can." And I think the opportunity came to buy the club 10 years ago, and he brought in all the new strategies that he'd learned over the circum years before, and changed the way the club's run. It's all built on statistics. It's not built on buying the best players. It's buying the best players that are best for the team and certain moments. So it was all like the subs that they'd make at certain times would be for certain reasons.
Oh, really?
The type of free kicks they take.
I didn't know he had control of that as well.
This is like built into the team. So he doesn't control it, but they
integrated in the team.
They take certain corners because if you deliver a ball to a certain area of the box, you're more likely to score. There's all these outcomes that they've worked out to try and build this team into a statistical machine, and it's worked.
I'm pretty sure he's got his own betting company as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it's called
Sportsbook.
Sportsbook, yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to actually see them in the Prem next year.
I'm excited to see who they're going to buy this summer, because people are going to be like, they're going to buy all these. They're not. They're going to buy like players that you won't have heard of, and they'll come in and be an absolute.
It'll be interesting to see if Ivan Toney's still around for.
He's staying. He's staying. He's not going to get sold.
Really?
And the mad thing is when they say they're not going to sell someone, they never sell the player.
Really?
They'll only sell the player when it's right for them.
Wait till next week's podcast.
No. But generally, what they do is they sell the players at their peak value. So I'd probably argue right now, Ivan Toney's value is probably at his peak because he has scored 33 goals in the Championship.
Got the best numbers in the Championship.
He's probably not going to score. If he scores like 15 goals next year, you probably still hold his value, but. Like he's a guy who now is like wanted by everyone. Like the same thing as Ollie Watkins last year. They sold him because it was his peak value. And
for a lot though. How much was it?
33 mil.
I think if they sold him to Villa for, like you said, 33 mil, and they kept hold of Ivan Toney has delivered this season, and if like I said, they're going to keep him for next year in the Prem, they've gone okay. They're hedging their bets on him rather than Ollie Watkins, but. Who is to say if he was going to have a great season? He did anyway. Same with like Patrick Bamford at Leeds. He's played enough Premier League games over the years. He's gone out to 7 or 8 different clubs. And
never
finally
performed.
settled at Leeds and banged in goals for fun.
Who are Brentford sponsors at the moment?
So they are sponsored by EcoWorld, which is actually building developer that bought the old stadium and then built the new stadium. So they're on the shirt. And then they're also sponsored by Hollywood Bowl. That's got the back shirt. But mate, they'll find some sponsor to sponsor
there's a mad
the
thing
new
going
ground
around about gambling sponsors as well.
Sure, yeah, it's a tricky one in football, isn't it?
I mean, it's the Sky Bet Championship as well.
Do you hear? Okay, we might not have time. We don't know if we're going to have time to talk about this. But do you hear about Football Index?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Completely crashed.
Did you hear about?
No, I know of Football Index, but no, I don't know what.
I just got into it before it happened as well.
Did you?
Not a lot, but I invested about 50 or so pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to my mate who was really into it on Twitter. I was just like, mate, what should I do? He goes, I'm not too sure. I think it's crashed. I was like,
did he have a lot of money in it?
He had quite a bit, yeah.
Oh, so the mad thing is because I saw it because it was trending on Twitter, and you know about Football Index. It was sponsors of QPR and of Notts Forest last season, and for people who don't know, Football Index was a stock market for football players. Yeah. So if you buy a player, the price goes up. If you sell them, it goes down. Blah blah blah.
Sort of different, different things as well. I think.
But it was pretty much gambling.
Yeah.
It was gambling because it's not a legitimate thing that you can't own a bit of Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Whereas you can own a bit of Amazon. So it's a bit of like a weird thing anyway. So people got involved in it, and there was people that had put in hundreds of thousands of pounds into this thing,
it's mad.
And they were screenshotting their profit and loss, and it was saying a few months ago there were 500 grand up, 200 grand up, and then suddenly something happened where they did like a share split or something like that. So the value of the players just completely bombed because what happened was Football Index were paying out too much money in dividends. So if you have a player, if you have a share of a player, you get a dividend every quarter based on performance. And what happened was they were basically paying out way too much money to people, and to keep the product running, they had to get more people to come in to put money in to then pay the dividends. So it was basically just like a vicious cycle of stuff happening.
Completely crashed.
So people had these, these profit and losses of hundreds of thousands of pounds, tens of thousands of pounds, even like £100. Doesn't matter. They had money that they were promised that they had, right? So if you sold some players or whatever, you're never going to get that 100k, but you might get 80k, for example. But people's life savings just went completely down. So people who may have had 200k profit suddenly had £84,000 losses, and people were like, "What is going on?" And this just happened like overnight, and the business is completely folded.
No.
Yeah, completely folded. People have lost millions. Like it's mad. And the crazy thing is that the owners have walked away with loads of money.
There's no checks in place for stuff like that, is there? At the end of the day,
it's robbery. We should probably talk about that properly in a podcast. It's quite interesting.
You forgot about Football Index as well.
Yeah. So I guess you lost all your money. Your 50, 60 quid.
About 50. Yeah, I literally put in Man United players and just.
At least you didn't lose more. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you can think of. Anyway, guys, we've spoken for a very long time. Let's end this thing now. Jermaine, thank you for joining us on your first podcast. Hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure.
And we will see you next week, Christopher, as well. Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
See you later, guys.